program, the rundown, before we come on the air. He'll also give you a little Dabo Swinney as well. But again, just kind of getting into some of the ins and the outs of what Coach Swinney had to say. And yesterday, Matt Bockhorst was fired up. We'll get to what Coach Swinney thought about Matt Bockhorst's comments and some of the things that he said as well. And again, this Clemson Tiger team, I mentioned Tyler Davis's injury taking place at some point in the ballgame. Swinney didn't elaborate when or that he really even knew. He essentially said, hey, you probably have to ask Tyler Davis. But here's what Coach Swinney had to say about the interior defensive lineman.
Tyler Davis had surgery this morning, so keep him in your thoughts and prayers. It's a big loss for us. Man, he was playing great football. What an incredible effort from him in this past game, and just super proud of him, and look forward to getting him back. Know he'll come back better than ever. So next guy up, Rook's he's been there. He played well for us to this point, and so we're very fortunate that we got some other guys there that have gotten some experience in these first 3 games and have played well. So excited about his opportunity.
Dabo Swinney was also asked about the interior of that defensive line and the depth there and what they're working on, including Trey Williams, who's been a little bit banged up. But here's what Swinney had to say about that as well. By the way, I really like Trey Williams. I think he's got a chance to be a very good player for Clemson. But here's Swinney elaborating on the situation on that interior of the defensive line.
Yeah, he's been banged up all year, but he's been banged up since camp. But he's not missed a beat. He's played well. I thought the Georgia game, he was very active. He had the most mistakes, but really his first time really playing. And but he bounced back. He played better against South Carolina State, and then showed up again last week. So he's getting better and better. But he's a presence. He's a very athletic kid. He's tough. He's been playing banged up all year and just battles through. He's done a good job for us, and obviously Rook has played well, and I think ET's starting to make a little progress. He's a guy too that's out all last year. And he didn't start playing football till his junior year, but has missed a lot of time around here from an injury standpoint. But he's starting to show some life a little bit. So he's a very active kid that we're going to have to get something out of. Darnell is incredibly consistent for us. He understands our scheme. He's not he can get sometimes you got to be careful with some matchups with him size wise, but he's very functional, fundamentally sound player, knows the scheme. And then Peyton Page is a young guy that's learning, big presence, different type of player, but he's a load in there. And so, we got a good group, and we're fortunate with that, but we're definitely going to miss TD for sure.
Now, one of the other things, too, with Dabo Swinney talking there, and again, thinking about Tyler Davis, that, you hear him talk about Etanisa Rubin, ET, but I do think that it's so unfortunate when you have a guy like Tyler Davis who's really good, but just is constantly hurt. And I mean, there's just some players that go through their whole career without really anything ever hampering them. And then you got another guy like this where he just seems to be banged up constantly. And I think if you were, want to say a positive on this front is the odds that Tyler Davis returns for another year, if he misses 7 or 8 games this season, are probably pretty good. They may have been good previously, but now it feels like they would be really, really good. Again, you can hit us up, message us, be a part of the show, 803-450-0086, 803-450-0086. Now, Swinney was also asked about Matt Bockhorst's comments. He was fired up, said he wasn't here to make friends, wants to see people held accountable when they don't do their jobs. Again, we spoke with Matt Bockhorst at the ACC kickoff, just a phenomenal young man. But here's what Swinney had to say about Bockhorst's comments and, what you should take away from that.
Well, I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, he's an incredibly committed guy. You know, he knows what it looks like. He's been around here a long time. He's been on a bunch of great teams, and he knows the type of you know, execution you have to have. And we got, and the good news is we're getting if we weren't getting the type of effort, that'd be a different deal. You know, I mean, I'd have a different mentality, but that's not the case. We've got great kids that are working their tail off, practicing their tail off. We've got some inexperience in some spots, and that's just, and a couple guys that, you know, and we've had some weird, it's just been a weird deal. And last week was an incredibly, you know, strange challenge, you know, kind of ambushed a little bit, but we found a way. And when you got young players that are very inexperienced, you know, next thing you know, if you're not sure, then what goes out the window is your fundamentals, your technique, you know. Now the effort is very good, you know, but for us, you know, it's preparing with purpose, and our guys are doing that. I mean, we're having great. I mean, at some point we're going to take the practice to the game day, and you know, these guys are preparing with purpose. There's no doubt about that. And when you do that, then you're doing a good job with details. And then it's, you know, you got to have commitment to be and do your best. Our guys are committed. We got a very committed group of guys. We have great leadership on this team. This is an easy team to come to work with every day. And then you have great effort, but it's effort with technique is what leads to execution.
There you go. Effort with technique is what leads to execution, according to Coach Dabo Swinney. Again, we'll have all of this audio up on our website, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. And it really is astounding, I think, and part of the reason that Clemson Tiger fans feel like they're in such a spiral right now, or in the doldrums, because the offense has been so poor, especially against Power 5 teams. But effort with technique is what leads to execution. Clemson's getting a lot of effort. Technique's been off. Can they right the ship this weekend against NC State? That'll be the big question. Stay with us.
It's time to get your home insanely clean. Listen.